What stands out about hearing good, better, best after a win for the first time?
When I first heard it, it was actually kind of funny to me because it was just like it's my first time hearing it, and it's something that caught fire within us in our locker room, and I love it. It's something that we all get. I mean, y'all may have seen. I'm always right there, just like a little kid up there in the front of the classroom, just ready to freaking raise my hand. In that sense of the urgency of like I want every single game. I want to win every single game, and we all want to get back to that locker room and have that moment of good, better, best, and light it up in that locker room together.
The following is rated TV MALSV. It contains strong language, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Timmy, go to bed now.
There's a Chicago Bears podcast. Unlike most others,
Follow me for a good time.
a bunch of guys on the broadcast acting much like brothers. This is bare their souls, uncensored with no control.
Williams, the Swift, touchdown. What a drive. Swift inside the 25, first down and more, and Swift takes it to the 11 and just shredding that Eagle defense.
Let me hear you now.
Here's Monungai, in he goes for the touchdown. They can't stop him. Good block by Jonah Jackson, the right guard, out of 8. Williams rolling, throwing, open, making the grab. Touchdown, Cole Kmet into the end zone.
Let's go. Here we go. Johnny Santucci. Johnny Santucci. Johnny Santucci. The douche! The douche! Okay, douche. Time for Bear's State of Affairs.
Woohoo! Bear's State of Affairs, man! Bear's State of Affairs, man. We're in first place, man. Number 1 seed. Woohoo! Yeah, Bear's State of Affairs, NFL season week 14. What's happening, Barflies? Yeah, well, it's time to check in with the Bears after 14 weeks in this 2025 NFL season. Yeah, the Bears really flexed their muscles last week, Danikin. Woohoo! Yeah. Yeah, it was Black Friday with the whole world watching. Yeah, the Bears strolled into Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia for a date with the world champs. Woo! Yeah, with Bears fans expecting a loss, the Bears got their best win of the season and held on to first place in their division by beating the Philadelphia Eagles 24-15. Yeah, the win over the Eagles was the Bears' 9th win of the season and guarantees them a winning season. And with that win, the Bears completed their sweep of the NFC East. The Eagles' loss dropped them to 8-4. Yeah, when faced with the task of beating the defending Super Bowl champs on their home turf, the Bears did not falter. They made it a Black Friday for the Eagles' defense. Yeah, behind their NFC leading run game. Yeah, the Bears they punished the Eagles to the tune of 281 yards, rushing on a whopping 47 rush attempts at 6 yards per attempt. Yeah, Bears fans, you wanted the Bears to run the ball. You got it. It was beautiful, Danikin. Woo! Yeah, watching the Bear run game on Friday, it was like watching a symphony. And both Bears running backs went over 100 yards. That was the first time since Walter Payton and Matt Suhey did it on November 10th, 1985 in a 24-3 win over the Detroit Lions. Yeah, the Bears wore down Vic Fangio's vaunted defense, imposing their will and opening holes in the run game you could drive a truck through, literally. Yeah, in fact, I think I found Ben Johnson's game plan, Danikin. Yeah. Woohoo! Yeah, when Ben Johnson came to Chicago and said he was going to run the ball, he meant it. Yes, sir, the Bears' run game was so good against the Eagles, they ran for 100 yards before contact and 181 yards after contact. That's how much push the offensive line was getting against the Eagles' defensive line, and you'd have to say the Bears' offensive line is one of the best, if not the best, in the NFL. I don't want to say the Bears made the Eagles their bitch, but even Gronk agrees with that statement. Yeah, the Bears' run game was so dominant that the Boo Birds were out for the Eagles, booing an 8-4 team that won the Super Bowl just 10 months ago. After the game, Eagles fans were calling for Nick Sirianni to be fired. Yeah, his loss to the Bears, it broke Eagles fans, it looks like. They've been complaining that the last fun game they watched was the Super Bowl last February. Man, Philadelphia is not a real place, Danikin. Woohoo! Yeah, the Eagles may have issues of their own, particularly on offense, but they came into the game with an 8-3 record and with most of the same roster that won a Super Bowl a little over 9 months ago. And the Bears, they look like the superior team. The Bears never trailed. It never seemed like they were in any danger of losing. And aside from the Cowboys game, it was one of the most stress-free Bears game of the season. Yeah, heading into the fourth quarter, the Bears had 3 times as many first downs as the Eagles, 21-7, and the Bears would ultimately finish with 28 first downs to the Eagles' 14. In all, the Bears ran 85 plays to the Eagles' 51 and dominated the time of possession. The world champs only possessed the ball for 20 minutes and 42 seconds, while the Bears had the ball for almost twice that long at 39 minutes and 18 seconds. With about 6 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, the Bears led the Eagles 17-9. Yeah, it was at that moment that Caleb Williams put the nail in the Eagles' coffin with a 28-yard touchdown pass to Cole Kmet to push their lead to 24-9. Rolling to his left, Caleb passed up DeAndre Swift in the flat and lofted a perfect drop in the bucket pass to Kmet. It was a thing of beauty and put the game out of reach for the Eagles. Last time the Bears beat a defending Super Bowl champion, that was in 2013 when they beat the Ravens in overtime to move into first place in the NFC North under first-year head coach Mark Trestman. Yeah, they then lost 4 of their final 6 games to finish 8-8 and missed the playoffs. Sorry to speak that into existence. Yeah, but this is a different Bears team with a very different head coach. And then Johnson's ability to adjust at the half. It's such a massive change from what we've seen in the past. He has been as good, if not better, than advertised, folks. Yeah, and the Bears, they're much further along than any of us anticipated. That's right. Before the Eagles game, the national media said the Bears haven't beaten anybody. They said the Bears couldn't choose who's on their schedule. They said the Bears couldn't beat the world champions. They said the Bears haven't had a statement game. That was a statement game. Beating the champs on their home turf, that is a statement game. Now, Black Friday, the Bears made everyone stop and pay attention. It was the only NFL game on TV, so the whole country was watching. What a difference from this time last year. Yeah, Black Friday last year, the Bears fired their head coach, Matt Eberflus. On Black Friday this year, new Bears head coach Ben Johnson led Chicago to an upset over the Super Bowl champions and improve its record to 9-3. Yeah, on Friday, Johnson joined Pro Football Hall of Famers George Halas and Patty Driscoll as one of only 3 Bears head coaches who've won at least 9 of their first 12 games at the helm. Yes, the Bears are 9-3 for the first time since 2010. And with the Rams losing to the Panthers on Sunday, the Bears became the NFC's top team. In fact, if the season ended today, the Bears would have a first-round bye, and a road to the Super Bowl would go through Soldier Field. And without a truly dominant team in the NFL this year, why can't it be the Bears playing in the last game in February? Yeah, but this is Packers week. There's no time to think about all that. There's no time to celebrate, no time to pat ourselves on the back. The Packers have a very good team. This will be the first time in the Super Bowl era where both the Packers and Bears are meeting on the field, and both teams are 5 games above 500 or better. It's going to be intense. But isn't the pressure on Green Bay this year? This is supposed to be the Packers' year, a 7th-year head coach, a 6th-year quarterback, and a team going all in by acquiring pass rusher Micah Parsons. Yeah, if the Bears win at Lambeau Field as touchdown underdogs, there's going to be panic in the streets. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Bears have proven they can win tough games. They've proven they can win close games. They've proven they can win on the road. Against the Eagles, they prove they can run the ball, and a good run game travels. It works in bad weather, too. The Bears' 2025 run game is underscored what Bears fans have been saying for years. We need to build the offensive line. In fact, the offensive line this season, it's made all the years preceding this one where we didn't have an offensive line look idiotic. Yeah, the Bears have proven they can play Bears football, run the ball, play tough defense. They also have the will to win by any means possible. And this season, anything is possible. And that's Bears State of Affairs. Woohoo! Yeah.
Johnny Santucci, Bears State of Affairs. Johnny Santucci, the talent's all upstairs. Johnny Santucci, you ain't no pussy. Johnny Santucci, in fact you like coochie coochie. Johnny Santucci, I like the way you talk fast. Johnny Santucci, and you got a really nice tushy. Johnny Santucci, thank you, Tooch.
I don't know if I like that one as much. yeah, true. Man, you guys, what a difference 1 year makes. Can you believe the turnaround? And hey, how's it going, Zim? Danica and I have been talking for a little bit. Sorry for the late start.
Man, I tell you, man, what up, Zim? What's going on? And of course, John, man, a great state of affairs. I enjoyed it very much. Man, a year makes a complete difference. I mean, and it's coaching, right? Right? It's got to be coaching because it's a lot of the same players and things like that. But the team is bought in, and you just see a different team. You see a different attitude. You see a different swagger. We talked about this several times, and I'll bring it up again. The Bears are breaking narratives that the media pushes every single week. It's the new narrative that they always have.
Yeah.
Even when they were winning games, they ain't beating nobody. They playing teams that are under 500. Now you go out there and you beat this team, and you don't just beat the team. This is a decisive win, in my opinion, right? The Bears were never in jeopardy of losing this game. I didn't feel it at all, right? So, you know, they're tearing down these narratives that the media puts out in front of them, and I love seeing it, man. I love seeing it every single time we play.
Zim, we got a statement game.
You muted, Zim?
Unmute. $1 in the mute jar.
I wasn't on mute. I forgot to turn on Phantom Power. There's a difference.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, that was the statement game. Like, that was the one that I've been saying we needed to see from this team.
Yep.
The thing is, it wasn't a statement game to enough people. They got to do it again now. And they're going to have to keep doing it, is the unfortunate part, because nobody's going to believe these guys until they're there. But I tell you, if they go into Green Bay and they take control the way that they did in Philadelphia, that's back-to-back statements. That's huge. That is not just controlling the NFC. It's when the little brother finally, you know, swings back on the big brother. You know,
Yep.
You can only push him so long before he can fight
That's a
back.
great analogy.
You know, this could be the week, man. This could be the year. This could be the time that it finally happens. And I mean, they're already 1-0 against Green Bay in 2025. If I had a cool little stat for this one. I didn't have my book.
And that was with Eberflus. Or no, it was Thomas Brown.
That was Thomas Brown.
That was Thomas Brown.
That's how bad Eberflus was. That like just literally anybody else being there was enough for them to win. No, I had something about this being the first time the Bears would beat the Packers twice in the same calendar year in Lambeau Field in the history of either team.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's a chance to really, like, that would change the narrative. That would make things different. Like, a lot of people still think that they're a fraud because they want to say that the Eagles are just bigger frauds now. And it's like,
what about the Rams losing to the Panthers?
That's it.
They were the one dominant team in the NFL this season that I thought perhaps, you know, had a very strong offense and a very strong defense and, you know, probably the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl. They just lost to the Panthers. You know, there are no dominant teams in this year's NFL. We were before this week. We were saying, well, maybe the Rams. You know, you look at Buffalo, and they've had some, you know, not so great losses. The Chiefs are what, 6-6? Are they 6-6? I think they're 6-6.
Yeah, they're 6-6, I believe. Yeah,
6-6.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a season we've all been dreaming of for a long time. Basically, since the Eagles and Chiefs started their dynastic runs, where it finally feels like this whole thing's up for grabs, which is a lot of fun. It's going to make December a lot of fun, like just as a football fan, like not even as a Bears fan, but just like as somebody who enjoys the NFL and enjoys the sport. Like, it's going to be cool to see what happens over the next few weeks, because there's still a situation where the Bears, who are the current number 1 seed in the NFC, don't make the playoffs. How crazy is it that that's how wide the margin of error is for all these teams right now?
They literally have to lose out, though.
I mean, it would be absolutely insanity. It would be a collapse larger than the 86 Cubs that had the big collapse. Like, it would be a bigger collapse than that. It would, yeah. I don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening. This team has too much buy-in to go to that point. So, you know, I mean, and here's the real fun part with all of that. Not only is there parity amongst all the teams, there's parity amongst the players, right? So this one's from John Friscella, at NFL Friscella on X, Twitter, whatever you call it. Does good quarterback play doesn't matter anymore? Point number 1, Caleb Williams is 24th in passer rating behind Michael Penix, Kyler Murray, and Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm.
But the Bears have the best record in the NFC. Now, it's not just him. Brock Purdy is 26th in passer rating. The Niners are 9-4 and a legitimate playoff team. Bo Nix is 32nd. And the Broncos have the best record in the league right now. Trevor Lawrence is 38th in passer rating this year, behind such names as Tyler Shuck. There you go. Behind
Shuck.
Tyler Shuck, Davis Mills, Geno Smith, and Carson Wentz. Now, some guys who
I can't believe Carson Wentz is better than anybody this season. He's been terrible.
Well, okay, he's still better than Max Brosmer, so at least he's got that. But
yeah.
So the counterpoint to all this, Dak Prescott, Jared Goff, Pat Mahomes, Joe Burrow all have really, really good passer ratings. None of them are currently in the playoffs if the season ended today. So the parity, like I say, it goes beyond just. Yeah, I love
Bears
that.
are a team,
game, not an individual, and that's a fact. But that's why I say it goes even further than just the teams. Like individual players are doing wacky things this season, and it's resulting in some really interesting storylines happening.
You got to think about it too. Like you know, so many people place the importance on the quarterback position. And I don't know, it's very important. It's a very, very important position in football. Probably the most important position, of course, right? But at the same time, you have to have a team to win these games. There's not a quarterback that goes out there and just wins. Dan Marino never won a Super Bowl because he didn't have the team around him, right? So the Bears, you know, they've got a team victory. They got a, you know, a team that's rising to the top and doing things. And that's what you want to see. The whole narrative that they're pushing now is that Caleb is 24th in passer rating. His completion percentage is low. You know what I mean? All of these things. But at the end of the day, he doesn't turn the ball over. At the end of the day, they're scoring enough points. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, the defense is playing well enough to keep them in these games and win games. So the Bears are winning games. I don't care how they get it done as long as they get it done.
Fitz, you're here. Welcome. Can I just give you one little gift here for this magical season for 7 seconds?
Beautiful.
Why not us? Why not us?
I said this after the Giants game. It's like, why not? At that time, you're looking at the Chiefs, or what are they, 6-6 right now? Like everybody thought the Rams were the best, and then they go and lay an egg against the Panthers. I mean, it's like every week there's somebody that you think is on top falling back, and here the Bears are right now. They're the team on fire right now, but they've got big games the rest of the way. So it's, you know, Zim was talking about the possibility of the Bears not making the playoffs. You've got 5 games left, and 4 of them are really, really tough games.
Yes.
And the Browns will be no slouch with their defense.
Nope.
So it's enjoy this.
Didn't they already beat the Packers, the Browns, or tied the Packers?
They beat the Packers.
They beat the Packers. The Browns
yeah.
beat the Packers. So.
Joe Flacco did that. You know?
Right. Yeah, it was a different quarterback.
Right.
Yeah. We'll have a quarterback much less competent.
But yeah, I read that show, Danikin, you were pointing out that the Bears weren't Super Bowl contenders, and you made great points. Everything was based on facts and evidence, but that doesn't matter this year, apparently. You know, as good as it all sounded, and I'm just riding with that right now. And why not the Bears? They keep winning. Is good quarterback play important? Well, I guess what determines a full good game from a quarterback? Caleb doesn't make mistakes very often. I mean, he misses throws, but he doesn't make mistakes that really determine the game. They're not at bad times. He's always a threat to score. mean, he's one of the fastest guys. He's put up some of the fastest times in the league this year. It's like
correct.
The guy's bigger, stronger than he was last year. He's always a threat to do something. I mean, he could either run or he could throw a beauty to Cole Kmet for a touchdown. So is it all just the QBR? Is it all just the completion percentage? That's part of it, but he keeps them in the games. It's like the defense. The defense gives up a ton of yards. They give up big plays, but it seems like when it matters most, they make the plays that help win the game. And so it's like you got Caleb who makes mistakes, who doesn't always get the right pass, doesn't always hit the right person, but he makes the plays when they matter to win games. So I think they're playing complementary football in that way, if you want to say.
And the green guys up north are scared of it. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, but the amount of chirping I've heard this week from Packers fans is more than I think I've heard in the last decade.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they wouldn't be talking this much if they weren't worried, because they haven't talked this much because they had nothing to worry about.
Right.
Let's be real with ourselves here for a minute and say, like, this team got the shit kicked out of them for a few years. And the amount of arguing and bickering and back and forth, this rivalry is alive again. There is blood pulsing through it. And I mean blood pulsing through it. It's gonna be nasty on Sunday. I truly think that if Ben Johnson is the guy, which I think he's proving time and time again he is, they are going to be angry on Sunday. They're going to be pissed off that they're not being taken seriously. They're going to be pissed off that they're a touchdown underdog against their rival. They're going to be pissed off that they're first place in the NFC and not getting any respect.
Eight of their last 9 games victories, beat 2 division leaders the past 2 weeks, and they're a touchdown underdog.
Yep. It's incredibly disrespectful, but it's fine. They're going to keep giving them bulletin board material. They're going to keep going for it. If they win against the Packers on Sunday, their playoff chances go from 77% to 92%.
Which team do you think has more pressure on them for this coming Sunday? I mean, look, Green Bay, they went all in this season.
Yeah.
You know, they went all in. They acquired Micah Parsons to wreck games on the defensive side of the ball. They've got a 7th-year head coach and a 6th-year quarterback. The Bears weren't even supposed to be here, man.
The Packers
we're so far ahead of schedule.
Yep.
But who has more pressure, I guess, is what I'm asking.
The Packers do, definitely. They've already lost 2 home games in a row this year. I mean, can you imagine they lost a third to the Bears? They've already started talking about LaFleur's job. There's pressure there.
I would love that.
I know. But you don't think they see that? They're not, the players aren't immune to that. The coaches aren't immune to that. They know what's out there. There's a whole lot more pressure on them this year, especially going into this week's game. Bears are playing on house money, I think.
Yep. That's it. The Bears are just out here screwing around for the most part. You know, they're out here figuring out how this offense works. They're plugging in pieces. They're seeing what works and what doesn't. I mean, they've had 3 left tackles for the entire season, and it's not because of injury. It's because they're just figuring it out right now. They're figuring it out and first place in the NFC right now. Now, there's a lot of parity. There's a lot of things happening that are allowing for it to happen. But I mean, 9-3, no matter how you slice it, that's a playoff team.
Yeah.
And this pressure is all on the Packers because, again, it's an established coach. It's an established quarterback. They went all in on this Micah Parsons trade. And yet their first round wide receiver has less touchdowns than our quarterback.
Yeah.
And that amazing defensive end they traded for, linebacker, whatever the hell position he plays, is putting up all of his numbers in garbage time. I mean, there's this whole thing going around Packers Twitter right now that if you take the takeaways away from the Bears, they rank dead last in every defensive category. And it's like,
that's stupid. That's a stupid
if you take away the sacks when the Packers are trailing in games, Micah Parsons has 4 sacks on the season. So we can play this game all day long. And the point is, what happens, and when it happens matters. And what's happening is, at the end of these games, the Bears are ending up on top. And that's what matters. That's what matters at the end of the day. And if Thomas Brown can outcoach Matt LaFleur by simply not being Matt Eberflus, then why can't Ben Johnson outcoach Matt LaFleur by being Ben Johnson? I don't know if I still have this one pulled up, but if I recall correctly, Ben Johnson is 6-0 against the Packers. And Matt LaFleur is 11-1 against the Bears.
Wow.
It's an immovable object against an unstoppable force this week, guys, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be I want to be mad. Like, I want to get mad on Sunday, but let's be real. Like, I'm at this point, like, I'm the kid in the corner that's just happy to be here, man. Like, I'm just like, we're on bonus time at this point.
I mean, that's the thing though. When we started this season, that was one of the things that I said. I want to see the Bears playing meaningful games in December. Now here we are going into December, not only first in the division, but first in the entire NFC.
Gets, man.
Right? So first in the NFC, and they're playing games that are very meaningful, right? These are, you have an opportunity. We said that last week too. There's an opportunity here to reel off several, not just one. They made one, right? It was a statement victory against Philadelphia last week, but you have an opportunity to make several statement victories. You got 2 against the Packers coming. You got the 49ers, and you also have Detroit. These are perennial playoff teams. These are perennial Super Bowl contending teams. So if they have this momentum going right now, and the momentum is built up off of the wins versus the lesser teams in the league, right? Teams that were below 500, whatever they want to call them. But that's what gets the momentum and the ball rolling in the right direction. That's what gets guys believing in the locker room. That's what get guys buying in more, paying more attention to detail in film session, doing extra work because, hey, we have a chance to be really, really good here. Now let me put even more in, go above and beyond, and you start seeing the fruits of that labor on the football field. And that's what you have with the Chicago Bears this year.
Yeah.
They're learning how to win by winning.
Yeah.
They're winning. Yeah. They're winning these games. And go back to the turnover criticism, I guess it is. These interceptions, I keep saying, these aren't luck. These are I mean, it's not like guys are just in the right place at the right time. The quarterback makes a throw to the wrong space. Deshaun Wright is going up one-on-one with these receivers and outperforming them. He is being the better receiver sometimes in these things. The strip of Jalen Hurts, that was an accident. That was planned. I mean, they came at him at that thinking they would get a shot at the ball. So this isn't just
the Bears figured out how to stop the tush push.
Right.
Not only that, but now the Eagles want the play banned after that game. Right. Go figure.
Yeah, it's an upside down world right now. It's just and the Bears are taking advantage of it right now. And
the Steelers had that trick play 2 weeks ago on the tush push where Mason Rudolph, who should never get more than 5 yards at a time, ran for I don't know how many, almost 50 yards. On that play, the trick play. After that, the Bears said, no more tush push.
They're running out of narratives, people. That's what this boils down to, right? Like I said, the Bears are beating these narratives. They're running out of them. And now you're grasping for straws to take away from what the Bears are able to do on the football field. Takeaways are the name of the game. You don't want to give the ball away, but you want to take it away from the opponent as much as you possibly can. The Bears are doing that at an outstanding rate, right?
It's unreal.
They're really good at it.
I've never seen it. I mean, not since like Lovie Smith and Mike Brown and Brian Urlacher were getting all these turnovers. But the team that wins the turnover battle, the teams that wins the turnover battle, majority of the time wins the game.
Yeah.
They still had Grossman throwing the ball to the other team 3 times a game back then too, though. So now they've got a quarterback who knows how to keep. That's it.
What did he throw, like 23 that year? I think he threw 23 picks that year.
It's something like that.
It's crazy.
It was a lot. And they still wound up like plus 18 in the turnover margin. It was insane.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, and just to throw even a little bit more of it out there, you know, the completion percentage, which you touched on a bit earlier, is something that like a lot of people want to point at, and like it's such a bad stat because Caleb Williams, this is from Kevin Fishbane, Caleb Williams has completed less than 60% of passes in 7 games this season. Care to guess their record in those 7 games?
7-0.
7-0. That's because he ranks 4th in yards per attempt. Or excuse me, yards per completion. When he's getting the ball there, good things are happening.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a further sign of what we've been saying for weeks, that the defense is probably as good as it's going to get with all the injuries and everything that they've been happening. And this offense can still get so much better.
Yeah.
They still have so much room to grow.
It speaks to, go ahead. I don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, it's just they're 9-3 and in first place and being doubted, and probably deservedly so. And it's like, if this is the floor, what is the ceiling?
Yeah.
Because this truly feels like the floor for I mean, granted, let's be honest, they're not going to have the same comeback luck, whatever you want to call it, the same ability to come back in 1-score games year in and year out. It balances over time. The Kansas City Chiefs, who we've talked about all night, is a perfect example of all of that. It's starting to balance back. The Minnesota Vikings in the same division, another example, is starting to balance with all that. So over time, yeah, it's going to come back. But even with all that considered, the floor this season, you flip a few of those games, 6-6, 7-5 is what I think we're realistically looking at with this team. And that's a pretty good floor to have. For the floor to already be better than what you did last year, like, it's a sign that everything's moving in the right direction, that this team is truly going to do what we think it can do as long as they continue down the same trajectory. I'm not getting, as much as I'm getting 2018 vibes, I'm not getting Nagy vibes, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ben Johnson, the way he schemes players open, it's just like nothing we've had. I mean, look at the Lions without Ben Johnson. They're just not getting the type of offensive play calling that they're used to. And speaking of Ben Johnson, even he agrees with you, Zim. They haven't played their best football yet. And the last time the Bears were 9-3 in December, they went to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
2-6.
I mean, no, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Dan.
I mean, I was just gonna piggyback on it, right, a little bit. Kind of what was Zim was saying, and the Bears. I tweeted it out last week after the game, like, because Ben Johnson addressed it, right? He said, "This is not even. We're not even. There's so much more that this team can be. We're not even half of what we could be in the future, right?" And I'm thinking to myself, and I tweeted, I said, basically, he's saying, we're not even good yet. And we're in this position. So I'm like,
yep.
The league is effed. y'all are effed because the
Pray
Bears
for the
are
league,
not
man.
even good yet. They're not even good yet. So as they continue to rise, because there's still so much to do. And I've been saying that too. Like, and I think we talked about this several times. The Bears have won games, but they got so much that they can clean up. And there's so much, on film that Ben Johnson can go and say, hey, look at this, look at that, look at this, Caleb, look at this, look at that, look at this. Now, Caleb, Ben Johnson's bar was at 70% for completion percentage, right, for the year. I don't think he'll ever get that in his career. He's too much of a gunslinger. He throws the ball downfield, you know what I mean, things like that. I don't think he'll reach that height. But I think he can reach 64, 65, even 66% on his passes, and it'll come later on. But right now, like you said, Tooch, it's a shining example. And a lot of people give Caleb all the credit. I don't want to give him all of the credit. He gets some. He gets a lot of it. But a lot of the credit goes to Ben Johnson, him scheming guys open. These guys are running wide open. You didn't see that in Bears games previously. The previous 5-6 years, we didn't see guys running just wide open. Nobody within 10 yards of him. He's getting guys in those positions. That's what you want your coach to do. You want your coach to put guys in position to win, and you can't help but win when guys are that wide open. So it's a testament to him. It's also a testament to the weaponry that Ryan Poles has assembled for Caleb to utilize. The weaponry that he has, Luther Burden is coming on strong. You got Loveland, you got Cole Kmet, you got all these guys that he either gave a contract to, he gave Cole another contract, set him up for a few years. DJ Moore, all of these weapons that he has at his disposal is a testament to that. And then not only that, but the guys being self-sacrificing, you might say, in where I don't think anybody on the team of these wide receivers is like, oh, me first. They're all spreading the ball around. They understand that, hey, your game might come this week. Your game might come in 2 weeks. And they seem to be okay with it right now. So it's a testament to that, too. There's a lot of good that you can look at with the Bears offense and be like, man, hey, we're on the right track here.
Oh boy, took care of business in the offseason this year, man.
Exactly.
The offensive line, like I said, man, it's made how long on this show at least, in the bar room since I've been here, like you have to build the offensive line for 8 years since I've been here. And finally he invested in the offensive line, man. That the 3 signings in the middle, Dahlman, Tooney, and Jackson, they've just been fantastic, man. And then you add in Darnell Wright, his first draft pick, who's just been fantastic as a highlight clip, every other week. And then Ozzie Trapillo, you have to say, you got to give him credit. We hardly heard his name called against the Eagles, man.
Right.
The offensive line has allowed Ben Johnson to use the run game and then build off the run game, all the different looks. He's changing it. He'll build off of looks from the previous week and use it in the next game, knowing that teams have watched the tape and trying to figure out what he's doing formation by formation. That's something we've asked for so long here, man. Please build the offensive and defensive lines. And finally, we're just seeing it here. And it's just beautiful, man. The run game, man, I've never seen anything like that. It was like a symphony. It was just so dominant. Now, NFL players find different ways to motivate themselves. Beating the world champs and just dominating them with a kick-ass run game. If you can't find motivation to run it down Green Bay's throat next week, I don't know, man. You shouldn't be playing football, man. We got to run it down their throats next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talk about the offensive line. My very first interaction with Aldo and Barroom Network was after the 2018 season, after the double doink, and Aldo posted the question online, what do the Bears need to work on in the offseason? And I said, the offensive line. And that was in 2019, and they finally figured it out. And scheming guys open, they're scheming the running backs open. You talk about 100 yards before they're touched. That's insane. Or that clip we keep showing of I think it was Kmet that goes in motion, then comes back to throw the block. He does. It was like, I've never seen these things before, except when it happens to the Bears. and there was a point. I think it was a touch. It was before Kmet's touchdown. That drive before, where it was like a 16-play drive or they put together, and Monangai ran in for the touchdown. During that drive, they picked up a first down on a running play, and you saw Cole Kmet briefly just jump into the air and just start. He was going nuts because it's like he's getting into it. Didn't care that he didn't have a touchdown. It's like these guys are blocking, they're getting down dirty, and they're seeing the fruits of those labors, and it's wonderful to see. I'm just overjoyed.
Yeah, some of the athletes on this team made incredible plays last game against the Eagles. The Kevin Byard interception was phenomenal. Like he flying across, cutting off the play, and diving, like head first and making the catch off the ground and securing
that
it.
play doesn't get made if he didn't play for the Eagles last year, 2 years ago. No, and I truly mean that, because if you watch how far he came across the field, it's because he knows what the scramble drill assignments are. You don't naturally make that break. You don't naturally go to that position as a safety in that situation unless you know something.
Yeah.
He saw that play in practice and said, oh shit, I know where this is going. And it's a credit to how smart the guy is, how well deserved he is as a captain. You know, through this whole conversation, like, I just need to take a step back and like think about some of the things I've said here on this show about Ryan Poles, about some of these players, about the way they've carried themselves this season. You know, maybe it was better that Cole Kmet took a step back and is not the captain this year. Maybe they really are looking up to these older guys as a younger crew and learning and adapting and evolving because of it. You know, these older guys are using their God-given abilities as well as their knowledge of the game to change it and to show these young guys how to do it. That's as well.
Locker room. Yeah.
And to make some difficult decisions for this coaching staff and front office, because I mean, you've got to come to a point now where like Byard and Brisker are both free agents, right? And Gardner Johnson are both free agents. That's 4 very big contributors in your secondary now that are all free agents. You know, you have no safeties on the roster after this season. In addition to that, I mean, a lot of us were down on this draft class, and the only thing that we thought that Ryan Poles really did in the offseason was the 3 offensive line trades / signings. And as this season has worn on, it's been showing that he's made a lot of really good moves.
Great moves.
And some really underappreciated ones. I mean,
DeMarco Jackson.
I mean, CJ Gardner
playing fantastic. CJ
everybody
Gardner
wants
Johnson,
to act like this was
Wright.
such a slam dunk move.
Yep.
But like, he was available for 3 weeks before the Bears took a flyer on him because they were just so injured. You know, it's just
we've been winning games. The Bears defense has been winning games without a lot of their defensive backs and linebackers.
Yeah.
The
fact that they're going into Green Bay now. They're probably getting TJ Edwards back. They're definitely getting Noah Sewell back. They're going to have Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson off of snap counts. And
someone in the chat said Monangai's out. Is Monangai injured?
Monangai was out with an injury today, but they didn't actually practice today. So it's an estimated injury, whatever that is. So
yeah, and then you look at the draft picks as well. Monangai, a 7th round pick. I mean,
every single one of them
that
is
offensive
contributing.
Line though is just 100 yards before contact. Danikin.
Yeah. They were
100 yards before contact.
They were moving that line like a swinging gate. I mean,
exactly.
they didn't move them back. They moved them to the left and they built a wall. It was incredible.
Yep.
I've never.
Who's the Philadelphia safety?
Blankenship.
Thank you. He's a great player. Yeah, very good. If not Hall of Fame at some point in his career.
They have a lot
and DeAndre Swift
coaches
sunned him at one point. I mean, he went right up on him and said, "Come get it." Never mind.
DeAndre Swift has run really decisively this season. I'm really impressed. I wasn't that high in him before the season, but I mean the offensive line play has made it a lot easier for him. But he has been fantastic in making the cuts and decisions in the run game. Just fantastic.
They made some major adjustments at the bye week, and DeAndre Swift is the primary beneficiary of all of them.
Yep.
And he had some motivation on Friday too. He ran.
Monangai too has been fantastic running.
How do you think that
hard.
feels, man? Like for DeAndre Swift to get to look across that sideline, knowing that they signed number 26 to replace you.
Yeah.
They said, no, we're good. We want that guy instead. And now you got to go out there and say, that's fine. I'm going to have a better day than him.
He did nothing.
Yeah.
Credit to the Bears defensive front. I mean, they're playing well too now. You know, they're not.
He gets to do it again this week. Josh Jacobs was available in that same offseason. He gets to look across the field at Green Bay and say, not only do I fucking hate you because you are who you are, but you thought that guy was better than me.
Yeah.
You know?
Another play that I want to highlight was the touchdown pass to Cole Kmet where Caleb made a decision to, he could have taken the check down because Swift was open.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, man, he's rolling to his left body in a totally awkward position and drops it right in the bucket for Kmet. That pass, it was amazing, man. Not only that, but that was the nail in the coffin. And then the Eagles, man, why would you go for 2 there? Because if you miss it, your team's done.
That's it.
It's like you've got to kick the field goal. There's just bad coaching decision. Because if you miss the 2-point conversion, now you're down 9 and with a minute and 16 left. It's like so stupid. At least they had if they would have just kicked it, okay, we're only down 8. It's do or die. We get it down to a few seconds left, and then the 2-point conversion.
Right.
I mean, what happens when things like this happen when a team wins the Super Bowl and the second year is trying to do it again. Everyone's giving them their best game, and the Bears were prepared. They wanted the champs. They got the champs.
Yep.
They wanted to beat the champs, and they took it to them, man. The Eagles took it on the chin, man.
Yeah.
That touchdown, I mean, that's Caleb being the guy that they drafted him to be.
It was just
he threw that interception in the third quarter, and that interception, all credit goes to the defense. That could have been a massive turning point in the game. Yep. And the defense made sure that it wasn't. After that interception, Caleb went 5 of 7.
We got the Nashon Wright fumble or strip fumble right after that. So they did not score. They didn't get any points off that Caleb interception.
After that interception, Caleb went 5 of 7 for 62 yards and a touchdown, which included 2 third-down conversions and a 4th-down conversion. He stepped up and was the guy that they picked with the number 1 overall pick. And just, I think we can finally put Caleb versus the Hall to rest. Like, as if we haven't been doing that all year long. I don't think that Justin Fields does what Caleb Williams has done, in this system. Because
account Black Dicka, he's still saying Justin Fields would be
somebody out there still is. But I think this game is the one that finally puts the nail in the coffin. Like to the point where it's finally to the point where it's like you're just delusional. This guy, Justin Fields never wins that game.
I love Fields too, man. I love the kid, but Caleb is just so much better.
That's it.
I mean, there was I know Fields has the running ability, Danica, but I read I forget which site, but there were 3 run plays where Caleb was clocked over 20 miles per hour running.
Yeah.
The dude is freaking fast.
Yeah, he's way faster than what people have given him credit for.
And he runs like he's got a load in his pants.
His speed takes teams by surprise when players are out there. This dude's freaking faster than we thought.
Yeah, he's strong too.
And that's, I likened it to, I remember way back in the day when Arian Foster was running. I said this on, I think, 3 Kings of the Midway podcast. Yep. Brian Urlacher one time said he is bigger, faster, and stronger than we anticipated and we seen on film when they played the Houston Texans one time. Yep. That's what people face when they face Caleb. Yeah, he may be a little shorter in stature, not as tall. He's not 6'5" Cam.
He doesn't look like a big guy,
but he's stocky and he's thick, right?
Yep.
So he's stronger. It's hard to grab somebody like that when they have a little bit of muscle behind them, and he's way faster than what anybody has given him credit for. So you give him those props and things like that. It's hard to do the comparison. I don't like to do it because I believe that coaching is so very important in the NFL situations. And if you have somebody that believes you in you, is very, very important as well. So I don't like to compare Justin to Caleb in that regard because I just can't compare a guy who was throwing to Demir Bird and Byron Pringle to a guy who's got the weapons that we just talked about, man. It's just
forgot about Demir Bird.
It's insane,
mildly,
you know what I mean?
I give you some credit on that.
I just can't compare the two. I'm not saying Caleb's not better. I'm just saying I don't like the comparison because, one guy was handicapped and the other guy is given, keys to the Mercedes. You know what I mean? It's like, it's apples and oranges at this point. So if Justin's in the same situation, does he produce as well? I don't know, maybe not, but I just don't like to compare the two guys like that.
Yeah, you think back through recent history after Lovie Smith was fired at 10-6. and the succession of coaches we've had since then. I mentioned this guy in Bears State of Affairs, and then following that, the John Fox and the Matt Nagy's and the Matt Eberflus's. And finally, we have a coaching staff that knows what the fuck they're doing, man. It's like, finally, the last few coaches, I wanted them fired after like a year. I was just like, I knew that that whole series, I knew that they just weren't the ones to take us to a Super Bowl. You just know, it's like when you meet your true love, you just know, it's like coaches that just didn't have it. But you get to Ben Johnson, and I want to talk. I won't get to Fitz here in a second, but the shirtless Ben Johnson has become sort of almost a meme now. So people saying, hey, if he does win the big one, hell, outside Soldier Field, man, let's get the statue built, Daniken. Woohoo!
Just get it up right away, right?
Fitz, I want you to talk about the Wiener Circle and how it all came about, and then we're going to play your little visit to the Wiener Circle.
Oh my gosh. I was at both of them now, so I can kind of compare the one in September. I got a cat here messing with some bag. The one in September, I was walking into this thinking, there's no way there's going to be as many people there. It's cold. It's, the newness wore off and the novelty of the whole thing. There'd be a decent crowd, maybe a couple of cameras there. But when I came up and made that left on the Clark Street block down, and you just saw TV vans and you could hear the people, it was like, oh my gosh, this is nuts. And I said in my tweet, the line was longer than it was back in September, and no one cared, no one minded. I was standing next to the guy that got all the press. I saw the guy with the bandana, and he's a local comedian too. He's been around for a long time, and I'm sitting there trying to talk to him this whole time just to say hi. I got a picture with him, but it was one media outlet after another: CBS, ABC, the Tribune, Barstool, the Chicago Book Club came by, and everyone was talking to this guy, and it just was. The whole atmosphere was just, again, it was just a celebration of the Bears. It was a celebration that we don't suck anymore. We've got our quarterback, Caleb, back in September. We've got our coach now, Ben Johnson, here in December, who said we're going to be playing our best football in December. And that's really what it was. It was, again, we were wrapped around the block, and it took me about 20 minutes to get through the line. They were just slinging the hot dogs, and if you were ordering something else, they were cursing you out to go sit in timeout while they passed out hot dogs. So it was
the feeling outside like
awful, man.
It was outside. That was the feeling out there, huh?
Yes.
Let's roll Fitz's little video here on the Wiener Circle. Here we go.
Oh, okay. That's it. Just fuck them.
Say hello to Facebook and TikTok.
The same thing. I couldn't have wrote this.
And I'm pretty sure Darnell Wright can beat Rashad Gary.
That's awesome. Oh my god, that is awesome.
It's longer than in the summer, in September.
Like just watching the fashion.
Hey, how we feeling?
Absolutely.
There it is. I mean, it just kept going.
Yeah.
That guy's name is Bob Keane, by the way.
Bob Keane.
Yeah, he's a
okay,
local comedian, and he had a Brian Urlacher jacket. He's like, and then his jersey inside it was 46. It was Doug Plank, and
Oh, wow.
so yeah, from 46 defense. And then he had the Roselle bandana and he had the Zuba pants on. I mean, he was what everybody wanted. So you see, there's a lot of pictures. There was a picture in the Tribune of him, and then there's my back. It's like I was in all these little cuts. You can see my hat, or But
did anybody recognize you like Fitz?
No, I didn't have any of that.
Okay.
Oh wait, there was one. I heard Shelly is her name. She does a lot of Bears work on Twitter. I saw her down there, and she was doing some work. But yeah, no, it was a great time again. And
how did it come about where if Ben Johnson would take off his shirt that they would give away free dogs?
Was that Cream? I believe
was Cream sleeve.
I think it was.
Oh I
think he made the challenge to the Wiener Circle, and they said, "Yeah, why not?"
Yep.
I think it was him.
That is crazy.
Whoever he is, whoever.
I'm convinced it's a media guy.
Yeah, there's no janitor that's been there for years like a Tony Medlin.
George McCaskey. But so that video, I mean, you saw how long it was, like a minute long, just walking it, because ESPN ran it on Sports Center, and they cut it down like 15 seconds, and they did it, and they didn't even get to the end of the street really. So
yeah, the Super Bowl shuffle. I added that little clip today because it kind of captures the way I feel like about this. I know it's like silly and stuff, but man, there really is this air of it could happen. The Bears, what if? Why not? Why not us this season? And I'm so surprised that I'm saying this because I did not expect us to be this far ahead, in Ben Johnson's first season. But Super Bowl shuffle, I was 17 years old in 1985, 40 years ago. Is it still fresh, Daniken?
What did they cut that like at week 12 of the season? Was it, or it was before that?
It was before the season, I think, wasn't it?
It was after
during the season. It was during the season.
It was after the Dolphins game.
Yeah. It's like they knew they were going to win. You know what? But the city knew they were going to win. We all knew that they were going to win at that time, and it was like a foregone. I think the world knew. I think the national media knew. It was the Bears were just outstanding, right?
Fitz was like 7 years old, maybe.
I was 9. I was 9 turning 10. I turned 10 in December, like right around the time that came out. And that was my dad bought us a VCR for the first time, Betamax. It was a family Christmas gift, and we opened it early. And the very first thing I ever recorded was a Super Bowl shuffle because they ran it on Channel 50 like as a premiere. It was like 10 o'clock at night.
I recorded it too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I might still have it somewhere too. An old
people always ask me when do you like, well, they don't always ask me, but it's a conversation like, what are your first memories when you're a kid? That was my first memory. I was young, man. I was like 3 years old.
Oh wow.
Nice.
I was young, but I remember watching that video. I remember watching it with my dad. All of that, I remember all of it.
Yeah, I was in high school. It was senior year of high school. Man, it was the best to be a senior in high school. The Bears win the Super Bowl, man. It was like heaven. Man, I had the Bears on my locker. The magazine clippings in my locker, newspaper clippings. Man, it was great. Great time. I know Zim wasn't alive yet, but
no, yet.
The last time the Bears were in the Super Bowl was my 14th birthday.
Wow.
It was really shitty birthday.
Evan Hester returned the kickoff. We thought, here we go. Yeah. After that, Peyton Manning took us apart. It was all downhill from there. But
all downhill.
Yeah.
I say now, my son is 8 years old, right? This is the first time that the Bears have had a winning season
in
his life.
Wow.
His life. So he's like, years ago, last year or the year before, he's like, what? You get bored with it. Now he sits there and watches the games because he knows the Bears are going to win now.
That's like, I forget, last show I said I wish that Hard Knocks was this season with Ben Johnson instead of Matt.
Yeah.
So I was like, I didn't really want him to do it with Eberflus. I'm like, I'm thankful that they're, the Bears are finally did Hard Knocks and stuff, but this would have been the season 1 year.
Tooch, I sent you the meme that I found. I mean, don't forget, Hard Knocks in season is the NFC East.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Bears beat the shit out of all four teams.
All four teams. Yeah.
Swept them.
Yeah, and there's a Super Bowl Shuffle documentary that just came out. I haven't seen it yet. Has anybody seen it yet? I haven't.
I've not.
So busy.
My wife mentioned that she wants to watch it with me, though. So I think conversion completed. She's a Bears fan.
Yeah,
I'm off soon.
It's only about 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Yeah. It's a real easy watch. It's not like, heart tugging or anything like that. It's a fun thing to watch. It's just, it's not like the 85 Bears, the 30 for 30, where we're all crying because of the letter from Buddy Ryan, but it's a good one. It kind of gets into why Peyton and McMahon weren't at the actual recording session. They did theirs with the green screen, and it just how quickly it came together that they did all that. It was from an old track that the producer had lying around. He hadn't used it yet, but yeah, it gets into some of that. But it's an easy watch. It's fun. I'd give it a 300 on the Fitzometer. It's not Oscar worthy, but it's a good one.
It's on HBO.
HBO,
right?
HBO Sports. Yep. But yeah. On my way back from the Wiener Circle, I stopped by that Andale Market, and I don't remember. I tried those Chicago-style potato chips.
Yes,
last time.
They had another one, right?
Yeah.
I found the hot dog.
Yeah.
All
Rip
right.
that thing open. Let's go. Give it a little
Mind
taste.
if I try?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So we had the
because you had pizza last time. You had
hungry now?
Italian beef and something else,
and
or
giardiniera.
just those two?
Deep dish
Giardiniera,
pizza, Chicago
So
style
this is the Chicago-style hot dog.
flavor. Wow.
Nice.
There's got to be a little sport pepper flavor in there. I would imagine. Pickle.
Yeah, I definitely smell some kick there with the sport pepper or pickle there. I mean, these are the kettle cooked ones, so they're tiny and crunchy here. Oh yeah,
It tastes like it.
Mustard right off the bat.
that one mustard, hot dog, relish, pickle, pepper.
Wow.
It's all. I mean, but the only thing I don't see is like the tomato, but that's all right. That is a Chicago style hot dog in a chip.
So can you dip the chips in ketchup, or is that also?
It no longer becomes Chicago style if you do that.
But you said it's missing the tomato.
Yeah, we got that. There you go. We could dip it in the ketchup to These are.
I just
really
gotta
good.
find the line, guys. That's all.
Because I feel like I'm sitting at the ballpark eating my hot dog, and I've got to have my pop.
RC. It's mandatory.
RC.
Cliff asks if we're talking about putting ketchup on Chicago dogs. I want to clarify. Absolutely not.
Yeah,
I'm asking about ketchup on Chicago dog potato chips.
Yeah, these are just Chicago potato chips. I would dip these, like a sour cream or something like that.
Okay.
Ooh.
But I'm just, again, it's not just if it tastes good, but does it capture what it's supposed to be capturing, the Chicago style hot dog? And this one does. This is, wow. Kudos to, what were they again? This is,
yeah, what's that company? They'll do a good job.
Local style chips. Women owned, made for Chicago.
Wow.
Definitely made for Chicago.
I'm gonna look them up. See if I can get some shipped to me.
Yeah. Localstylechips.com.
Okay.
This was I got this at Andale Market at 725 Wrightwood. They also have them at JP Graziano's in West Loop, the chips. And at JP's, you can also get it with an RC. They sell RC and cherry RC at JP's now. So it's like,
just to let everybody know watching, right? Fitz talks about food quite often, right? Of course, that's what his thing is, right? He's Fitz Magic Eats, right? Just a little bit, yeah, just a little bit. But just as much as food, he talks about RC Cola. I promise you, if you go back, I would probably go back 2 years, and I see every single week at least one tweet about something RC Cola. I guarantee you, pretty much.
Yeah,
So, yeah, RC is on point though.
Yeah, RC is the champagne of cola.
It looks like you can get these shipped to you. They've got a few different options. This one's catching my eye. It's a variety pack, 10 different bags. So you got the hot dog, deep dish pizza, Italian beef, standard salted, and hot jarred flavors.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting that one.
That sounds good.
I gotta.
I remember the pizza one. It was like when you open the bag, they smelled like when you go out and you pick up a pizza one night, and then the next day you open up your car and you have that pizza smell, and you go, "Oh, I had pizza last night."
Yeah,
that's what they smelled like. But
I know exactly what you mean.
Exactly, you know.
I gotta look it up. What's the brand name again?
Local style chips.
Local.
It's spelled just taste of Chicago on a chip.
It is. Wow.
No artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives for those of you that are health conscious out there. Because that was my immediate thought. I'm not going to lie. I wonder how many artificial flavors they got to put in that thing to get it to taste like that. But
no, they've got they've got dehydrated tomato. So there's tomato in there. They got mustard.
Dehydrated tomato is a very hard flavor to get to cut through anything, so that's very fair.
Now Aldo put another video in here. Fitz Fire Department.
Oh yeah, the fire truck came by playing Chicago Bears theme song.
Nice
song.
He didn't put a restaurant review.
No, I didn't put one for today. We'll do one next week. I
All
figured
right,
I had enough content for this.
Should I roll this fire department?
Yeah.
Why not? Right? Here we go. That was the local Chicago fire truck, huh?
Yep, just pulled up and
blasting it.
Yep.
Nice.
I love it.
Yes,
I
nice.
love it.
It was a great day.
Now, what about Zim? You got a song?
I sent it to you on our XDMs. I can also go through my present option and pull it up here.
I was like doing so much pre-production, I did not notice that. Okay.
That's totally okay. I was late today. I got the song written, but you know.
Yeah. How do I download the song?
I sent it to you on our XDMs if you have a way to download from there. Otherwise, here, let me do this.
Hey, Fitz, one question real quick.
I can do this.
About the chips.
Oh, you can play your screen.
Where do they stack up? Where do they stack up in because you tried the other ones, the jarred, you tried the pizza, and you tried the Italian beef. Where does the hot dog stack up there?
I'm gonna go. I would say the hot dog is the best as far as like a balance between just a good chip and tasting like what it says it tastes like. I think I like the jardiniere of those previous three, the Italian beef and the pizza. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the hot dog.
Hot dog's the king.
Yeah, they're all good.
All right.
So.
Nice. All right, so Zim, you could share your screen or something, or
Yeah, I've put it up here. I believe you just have to activate it on your end since you're producing the show tonight.
oh, okay.
And then it should share it. There we go.
Oh, the Bears beat the Eagles on Friday last. They really put some bell to ass. Now it's time to play Green Bay with Jordan Love, great EPA. I think I'm supposed to be scared, but honestly, I just don't care. It's the best season we've had in years, so forgive me if I'm not shaking with fear. No worries, it's all fine. Our Chicago Bears are gonna be alright. Playoff chances looking slim in spite of all these decent wins. The Bears are sitting in first place while the division tries to save some face. Year 2 Caleb, year 1 Ben, no longer if but rather when. Good, better, best, say it with your chest, cause the Bears are better than any of us could have guessed. No worries, it's all fine. Our Chicago Bears are gonna be alright. No worries, it's all fine. Our Chicago Bears are gonna be alright. No worries.
That was fantastic, man.
I like it.
I love that you picked Polka too for.
Oh, come on, it's Wisconsin. It's
I
gotta
know.
be polka.
I love it. It's like I went to college in Milwaukee, so had a lot of polka nights.
Yeah,
And
all I
then,
could think, I was like, Wisconsin, what music do I even do? I was like, it's got to be Oompa music, man. That's all I can do.
I've got a soft spot for like polka music and klezmer bands, and man, the Polkaholics used to be a really good band in Chicago. I don't know if any of you guys remember the Polkaholics. And then WXRT used to always give the temperatures of O'Hare, and when it was midnight, the DJ, I forget his name, would say it's 58 degrees at the Baby Doll Polka Club. You know, it's a little polka club down by Midway Airport. So yeah, that was fantastic. Same great lyrics and stuff. Excellent. I wish we had all those visuals.
Yeah, Joe just ordered some of them chips too.
Did you?
Shout out, Viz Joe.
What about the Kenosha Kickers? Do you remember them?
Yeah.
John Candy's band in Home Alone.
Yeah. Kenosha Kickers, right.
Something about Zim's music. It was a great song. I liked it.
Yeah.
I do want to say, if you listen to all Zim's songs right up until this point, as we've been going through the season, some of them was like, please win. Let's get a win. Encourage me.
I'm begging you.
Now it's like, we're all right. We got this. You know what I mean?
It's funny.
Everything has changed. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, I was even thinking about it last week, trying to come up with something for the Philly game and getting all ready for that. And I was too on edge. I wouldn't have had anything last week. I was like, I don't know. So I'm kind of glad, that I got the pass on the week, but I wish it was for a much better reason. Shout outs to Aldo, who it seems like is recovering pretty all right, is on track to hopefully go home soon.
Yep.
So for those asking for updates, that's about the most I personally can give. And I also, I don't know how much of that he's willing to share publicly, so I'm just going to leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hope he's back soon because I'm doing a shit job producing the show. But yeah, best wishes to all the prayers up.
He's probably in the DMs talking trash about it too.
Almost certainly.
And he does have a video which I will play on the way out. his thank you Bears. I don't know if you've had
that was
a
really
chance
good.
to see it, which is just fantastic.
Sure.
Before we do get out of here, we should talk a little bit about some Bears. Talk some Bears Steelers, Bears Eagles, Bears Packers. Anything that's on your minds before we roll out of here?
Yeah.
Mostly, I'd like to hear like how surprised are you that we're this far ahead of schedule? I guess at least that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm shocked too.
I never would have expected this before the season. I am the last song that I put together, the Pittsburgh song. One of the lines in it was, if I told you all this a year ago, would you be happy or not? And it's like, I think we all would have been really happy knowing these results 1 year ago today. Like, especially considering the aftermath of what they were dealing with a year ago today, where we were talking even on this show about how, man, I think they made the right move getting rid of Eberflus, but should they have really elevated Thomas Brown, or should they have left him in the OC position? And like, it felt like even in making the right moves, they were still making the wrong moves.
Mm-hmm.
And now for them to seemingly be unable to make a wrong move, which, I mean, the Bears might just be a team of destiny this season. Like, I will go so far as to say that, because everything is breaking their way. Yeah. And when is the last time that has happened to a Chicago sports team, that everything has just gone the way they needed it to? The 05 White Sox might be the last one that I can think of, because like the 2016 Cubs, that shit was hard earned. They fought for that. They really got it. The 05 White Sox, that really felt like a team of destiny. It felt like they were determined to win that year. Like, and nothing was going to stop them. And that's what these Bears are starting to feel like to me, where it's like, I don't know how they're going to win, but they keep doing it. So why wouldn't they? And I feel like they could continue that all the way, potentially lifting a trophy at the end of the season. And we'll see how that all ends up in the end, but it's just crazy. It's so crazy to me that I would have said anybody who told me they were 9-3 with the 1 seed going into December, I would have said, you are such a fucking homer. Take a step back into reality.
Exactly.
Like, temper your expectations and we'll go forward from there. Like I said earlier, 7-5, that sounds a little more realistic. We'll go from there.
If last season, someone had told you, just hang in there, baby, next year's going to be... When I was a kid, this was like the poster everyone had. I'm sure Fitz probably remembers this one. It was like a bunch of different versions of it. But yeah, last season's Bears are telling us to just hang in there, baby. This year's going to be good.
The games themselves, other than the Eagles and maybe the Cowboys, the games themselves have been playing out the way I kind of expected, just bumpy rides and ups and downs and frustration, but they're winning the game. It's like the thing that never happened before is happening. They would have these games that they would just blow in the final moments or couldn't capitalize on in the final moments and win. They're winning them this year. So it's like there's a lot of the same feelings as I've always had as a Bears fan, just the frustration of watching a game, but they're winning them this year. And that's the difference in the whole thing. That's why I can't get too comfortable. Why I'm just preventing myself from being confident at all going into games. I'm just assuming they're going to lose, but they're not.
It's almost like that's just good luck charm now. You know what I mean? Just assuming that they're going to lose. So
right. This is going to be bad.
But
like this,
I think the Bears.
Go ahead, Daniken. Sorry.
I was going to say, I think the Bears are ahead of schedule, and I'm surprised at how they're ahead of schedule. But what I feel like they're ahead of schedule on, there's two different wavelengths, right? So did I think they were going to win some games? I thought they would be around 10-7, maybe 9-8, somewhere around there, right? So
yeah,
I thought that they would have a winning season. I thought they would be battling for a playoff position, and I thought they would play meaningful games in December. That's what I wanted to see, right, from the outset. But they're ahead of schedule, and what I mean by ahead of schedule, in my opinion, is not just because they got these wins. They're 9-3, right? That's one thing. But to me, they're ahead of schedule because of how they're winning the games. They're winning games that normally they would have lost before. So when I say they're ahead of schedule, they've learned how to win, in my opinion, right? They were learning how to win, and now, in my opinion, they've learned how to win, and now they expect to win. That's the ahead of schedule that I'm talking about. The Bears as a team, and even as a city, the fan base now is leaning towards expecting them to win, similar to what Zim's song was talking about, right? We're good. You know what I mean? The Bears are going to be all right. We didn't have that type of mentality before, and I didn't think we would have that mentality right now. But as we get and we're progressing through the season, that's what I mean by, I feel like they're a little bit ahead of schedule in that regard.
Yeah, prior to the Eagles game, the Bears had won a lot of close games, come from behind, and we were all nervous wrecks. And then the Eagles come along, man, it wasn't really that close, man. It was just, you just wondered if they got all of that out of their system, and now they're ready. They ran the ball down the Eagles' throats.
It's confidence, man. It's
confidence. They believe in the coaches. The coaches believe in the players. They believe that the coaches will put them in a position to win in every game, and that means a lot. To a team's psyche as far as closing out games.
Especially these guys that were there last year and know like the difference between a coach that's like gonna get you there and a coach that's like gonna let you down. Because it's such a different mindset for all these guys, and the Bears did retain a lot of players from last year to this year. I think it was something like 35, 40 guys. And that these guys were all in the same locker room last year going through the exact opposite situation.
Look at Jalen Johnson.
That they had exactly. Jalen Johnson goes from Black Friday last year to cussing out, where he's cussing out his coach and telling him like, you've got no business in this league, to this year coming back, fighting back from an injury that a lot of guys probably would have just sat out the season for. Because he wants to be there, because he wants to be a part of this, because he believes in his coach and his coach's ability to help them win games.
There was a moment in the Eagles game where Caleb and Ben had a little exchange. I don't know if you caught it, and you could read the lips of Ben Johnson where he said, I'm not calling the fucking timeout, run the fucking play that's called. Do you remember that play?
Yeah.
I mean, it's stuff like that, that you just love, man. With this team, the coaches are so, we would never expect Eberflus to know what to do with closing out a game management, timeouts, clock management, all that stuff. But
we would know what he would do. He would screw it up royally.
Down his leg.
Fumble. He wouldn't know what to do. We would know he would blow it. Yeah.
We've talked about it on this show. Ben is going to drag them to where he wants to go. It's like he's not going to dumb it down for him. He's like, this is what we have to do. You're coming with me, whether kicking and screaming, we're going to go for it on fourth down, even though we should probably kick the field goal. And just, he's going to force these guys to do what he knows what needs to get done.
Yep. Absolutely.
Indeed. All right. Let me check.
Let me ask you guys a question, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of positivity. There's a lot of, what you would say, optimism when it comes to the Bears and the season, right? What we have going. But going forward, what are the concerning things? Are there anything that concerns you when it comes to Chicago? I mean, we touched on a couple of things that could be worrisome or whatever, but what are your concerns? Because if the Bears can make a run to the playoffs and then into the playoffs and make a run in the playoffs, what needs to be fixed? Because there are some things that need to be fixed. What do you think those are?
I would say on defense, the threat of giving up big plays is still there. A fast team like, I know Detroit's not as fast without a St. Brown now, but somebody like that can it just seems like the defense, as good as well as they're playing, Philadelphia's offense is horrible. So that going up against a formidable offense could be trouble. I mean, I could see a point where, like, let's just say Green Bay. If Green Bay got out to a 14-0 lead real quick, what do you do then? How do we come back? We haven't been down that much to know how the team will react, being where you can't rely on the running game anymore. That, to me, that's my biggest concern. If something like that happened, a quick strike offense comes out and just puts you down early, what then?
Okay, that's a good one.
Zim? Go ahead,
I don't
Zim.
know that would worry me. Genuinely, the way that this team plays, being down 14-0 early to Green Bay, I wouldn't worry until like the third quarter. Like if it's the first quarter, 8 minutes left in the first, and they just had bang, bang, drives right off the rip, and you're down 14-0, I'm cool with it. I think Ben Johnson's got an answer for that. But yeah, late in the game, I'd be a lot more worried. Totally get where you're coming from on it. I just think my mentality is a little different at this point in time. No, I mean, the points of concern are the same things they've been in Ryan Pohl's entire tenure with the Bears. Pass rush, quarterback play.
Yep.
Those are the only two things that concern me. And they're maybe the only, I don't know, offensive line is finally fixed at least. So there's that. But
I'm with you on that, in agreement.
I'm not worried about the offensive line at all anymore.
No, they've got
crazy.
to get that defensive line figured out. Montez Sweat is being paid to be a number one guy, and he sure is seeming like a number two guy all of a sudden. And, he's coming up a little more lately. So let's see how he finishes out the season. Maybe he can be that number one guy, but the team they're playing on Sunday has that number one guy.
I'm glad you brought that up because I'm in agreement with you on those 2 points, because those are the two things that worry me as well.
Those 2 points.
Oh, no. I think Tooch froze there.
Oh,
he's froze. Well, let me give a couple of points that I feel like should be addressed, right? Yeah, and we talked about it briefly. Caleb's accuracy has to get better. He cannot miss the layups. He cannot continue to miss the layups. Like the bunnies that you have,
rush,
the guys running wide
have
open.
to get more pressure. Dennis
came back in. That's a crazy lag.
Modern day technical difficulties, folks.
Hey, man, it happens.
Always something.
Always. But I think those are that's one thing. His accuracy has to get better. He can't miss the layups, right? Completion percentage would be nice to get that up a little bit higher than in the 50s. You know what I mean? We can't continue to have that. As you go into the playoffs, you got to be a little bit more efficient and effective in your offense. And here's the other thing, right? And this goes across the board with everything. I believe, and I'm watched every single Bears game and everything like that. And for the most part, the first 2-3 drives they move the ball with ease, effectively with ease. And then somewhere after that third drive or so, now they don't always score. That's another thing, right? When you get to the red zone, they kick a field goal or something will happen. They'll go for it and, don't and they don't convert. And then it's, instead of being up 14-0, you're still at 7-0 or 10-0, whatever. So they move the ball effectively in the first 2 or 3 drives usually, and then they stall out really bad. That, to me, they stall out and it doesn't look the same.
Yeah.
Through the second, through the third quarter, and then in the fourth quarter they come back on again, right? So to me, I need to see them at this point. They need to start making plays in that second and third quarter. They need to keep the wave of momentum going through the whole game, because you can't have long periods of bad play or mistakes or, you know what I mean, just things that don't go right. You got to play more consistent throughout the entire course of the game. So I want to see that. I don't want to see it's great they start off excellent, moving the ball down the field, but do that in the second and third quarter as well. Don't just come on in the fourth.
What I want to see, I see the same issue from Bo Nix, from Caleb Williams, from who's the third guy? JJ McCarthy. none of these guys know how to throw with touch. They all throw every ball 100 miles an hour, you know? And it's something that's making Drake May look really good out in New England is he's figuring out the touch. And I feel like this Philadelphia game forced Caleb to figure out his touch because of the wind, because of the conditions that he was playing in.
Yeah.
And what I want to know is if that's true. Because if it is, I think that last week's game might have just unlocked Caleb. That touchdown to Cole Kmet literally might be the turning point in his career.
Dropped it in there, and he saw both levels. He saw the game. He saw the play.
It could not be. It could have just been a good play in a good moment, and you know we take that for what it is. But it genuinely might have been the moment that unlocks things for him, that makes him suddenly go, "Oh, if I just do that instead of this and that, then this, and holy shit, guys."
The game has to slow down for him.
That's all about the game slowing down. His touch, trusting yourself.
That's it.
Thing to throw.
I don't know. We've all had that moment in our lives, regardless of what activity it was that we're doing. But, you know, whether it's work or hobby or something, like you have that defining moment in your mind where this thing that you do just clicks and all of a sudden you go, that's it.
Yep.
And I'm really hoping we just watched that moment happen for Caleb.
Oh, old guys like me, we call that we come to the mountain.
Yes.
That's the saying. When you finally figure out, like whether it's work or life or whatever, you come to the realization of that. And I'm glad you brought these 2 points up before I got booted off. But I figured out, I guess, if it starts freaking out like that, if you leave, close the browser window and open a new browser window, close the old browser when you come back, refresh, it'll work out pretty good. So future reference dealing with StreamYard and such. But the pass rush has been a concern for a while. Bears fans have been saying it for years. But the quarterback accuracy, Zim, I agree with you, but I'm not the only one who agrees with you, because Ben Johnson was asked about Caleb Williams' completion percentage today, I think, or yesterday. Today, I think it was today. He said, quote, "It's an area we have certainly talked about." He did note that Friday was a tough day to throw with the wind in Philadelphia. Johnson said, "To fix it, we have to be fundamentally correct. The primary receiver, when he's open, we have to make sure we hit him. And then all our pass catchers, we just harped on it today. We need to be more disciplined in our route detail. It's not where it needs to be. Our depth's not proper all the time. Our steps aren't." And he ended the answer with, "Everyone has a role to play to get this passing game cleaned up. It's not where it needs to be. We're winning in spite of the passing game, not because of it. And none of us are pleased with that." Now, you could imagine how a young quarterback would take that, how he feels about it after that. I think Caleb's mature enough to say, "Yep, we got to work harder," and not say take it as a personal slight against his play. But I mean, there was a lot of times where Caleb's just jacked up in these games and he's sailing passes. And I'm looking forward to the day when that isn't as big an issue as it is, and he's able to hit these open guys like Ben Johnson said. We have to hit the open man when it's there. Any thoughts on Ben Johnson? His quote, I think it was today, about the completion percentage of the passing game and the route running and all of that.
I love it. I love it because, number one, it puts people in perspective, right? It puts things in perspective because people can get overexcited and Bears, we haven't had a franchise quarterback like this in forever and all of that type of stuff. But there's so much room for growth. People can look at it like that. You don't have to look at it like Ben Johnson is slighting him or anybody's hating on him. Or if I say these things, I'm hating on Caleb. That's not the case. What we're saying is that there's so much room for growth. This dude, you ever heard this term, the sky is your ceiling, but mine is somewhere by Mars? That's Caleb. Caleb's is somewhere by Mars. So if you want him to get to that point, you have to talk about these things. You have to address them. And I think Ben is doing that because Ben sees Caleb can be very, very good. And if I stay on him, then it'll get there. But if I let him believe that, hell, he's got it figured out, then he may lose some of his determination to get to that level. So I think it's a beautiful thing. I think that's what you want from your head coach, always demanding more. You know what I mean? And it's not being a jerk or anything like that. It's just demanding excellence. You want to see it. You want to see it happen. You know, on the football
Gotta
field.
love the transparency. Most transparent
Absolutely.
coach in Bears history, I think.
Yeah.
Fitz.
Yeah, he said from the beginning, get ready to be uncomfortable.
Yep.
I mean, you're 9-3, and your coach is saying we're not good enough. I mean, that's
right.
That's going to make for some good uncomfortability or whatever you want to say. But he said the right thing the right way too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that could have gone sideways real quick. You say the wrong things, and it's like you're coming down all on the quarterback or all on a receiver. He put the whole team there. I mean, no one was. Everyone was called into it, and no one was absolved of anything. It's like it's the whole team. It's the whole team concept, and he said the right thing the right way, and I love it, you know, because the results are giving us wins. So yeah,
that's it.
Zim, the way that you interact with the world musically, sort of that type of learning that your younger generation is used to. It's different than mine. I grew Generation X is the last generation to grow up in an analog world, and we had to learn the digital world as adults. The way that you learn more digital, Ben Johnson's kind of have a mantra for the team to rally around with good, better, best. It's almost musical. It's almost a thought, a chain of thought that can be embedded in a player's mind to rally around and think. And we're always improving continually. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, there's a psychology behind everything, right? I mean, you talk about the way that I interact with the world, like as a musician, and like when something that like a lot of people don't think about, that like I always thought about in my time as a musician, is the set list, right? The order in which you play things at a concert, because it does matter, right? Like, yeah, you always finish with your best song and you always start with something to catch the crowd, but how do you build it through the middle? And like, to me, like that's something that translates in a lot of different ways. Like, and that's what we're seeing with Coach Johnson, is that he knew how to start it. You know, it's obvious how you start it. You go out there, you say what you need to say. You talk about beating your rivals. You talk about fixing the quarterback. You talk about bringing this team back to the top. I mean, it's the same thing that we've heard time and time again. You know what the end goal is. You know, the end is to hoist a trophy or to get fired trying. And it's filling in the in-between. And there's a process for that, that if you pay attention, has been laid out for you. And Ben Johnson is just following the process while applying his own knowledge to the situation. Big shout out to the super chat from Michael. Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
All super chats. By the way, I was going to mention this for the holiday season. All super chats go to the Aldo Gandia Wallet Foundation. They help him continue to fund and provide everything that he does here for the bar room, whether he is here with us or off screen.
Yep. All the software, everything.
So please consider contributing to the Aldo Gandia Wallet Foundation to make it easier.
Back into the bar room.
That's right. Yep. That's right. So, at any rate, my point being with all of this, that when you understand something so intimately, you know, we're at a point in time now where the guide has been written, you know, no matter what it is really. And it's just a matter of finding the way to do it. And the mantra and the callback, like that's something that has resounded with these guys for years. I think it was so key that he found something that worked, because Nagy did it too back in 2018.
Right,
you know, he found Club Dub. He found the booms. You remember the boom videos after every win?
Yeah.
I mean, so we're so quick to forget these things, but you know, everybody bought into that, and it wasn't cheesy until they started losing. And the only reason they started losing was because of the hubris involved in all of it. And I really just hope that Ben Johnson understands and learns that as well, because again, it's been written. And that's what makes this digital age that we live in so much easier than the analog age, is because this information is at your fingertips. I don't have to go to the library and dig through volume after volume after volume to find this information. It's there for me. And if I'm not using it, that's a failure on me and not on anybody else, And I think Ben Johnson sees it the same way. He's been given the guide on how to do all of this. And if he doesn't succeed, that's on nobody but him. So it's part of the reason why, like, I have so much trust in him, is because I see that in him. I see what we talked about all the way back when he was hired, what we talked about all season long, the accountability to understand that he's the man and it's hell or high water via his road. He's the one paving and making the way for these guys, and they're going to follow him one way or the other. And he has to do everything in his power to make sure that it's the right path.
Yeah.
And we've seen two coaches lose sight of that. Maybe sooner than they should have, but maybe deservedly so. But back to back, we saw Nagy and Eberflus lose sight of that and end up taking down an organization with them instead of building it up, because they got scared for themselves and they started thinking selfishly instead of selflessly. They stopped taking accountability for their own actions and started trying to finger point. They started trying to find answers from the outside in rather than the inside out.
I just want to touch on that. Like I saw the same thing with both of those guys. Like Matt Nagy, if you look at what was going on with him, right, when he was here, when things start going awry and things start messing up, he was looking for any and every opportunity to take credit for something, right?
Yep.
If play calling went away from him and they had a good play call of that game, and the game was called well and they did well, I made the decision to go ahead and, you know what I mean? He wanted credit for it. The same thing happened with Eberflus. He wanted credit for things. That's when you know your job is you're on a hot seat. When you're looking for ways to show, hey, I did this, I did that, then you know your days are numbered. Your days are very, very numbered.
It's also a way to put yourself on the hot seat, to call attention to things that maybe we weren't really thinking about before. But you mentioned that, huh? You were responsible for all that play calling, huh?
So no, he was responsible. He said he was responsible for giving the play calling away, right? So they moved it away from him, and he's like, "Well, I made the decision to do it, so give me credit for that." And I'm like, no, you don't get no.
But you know what I mean? It's like, give me credit when it's good, but it's not my fault when it's bad. And it's like, no. This road goes two ways. So
it's a great story. It's was his high school locker room chant, Ben Johnson and his teammates, and it's working.
They got buy-in, man.
Yep, we got the buy-in. The players trust the coaches. The coaches are putting the team and players in positions where they can succeed and win. The good, better, best. The fans are getting it, Daniken. Yeah. The fans want it too. I really love it. 11 o'clock, guys, ready to get out of here? I mean, if the chat room gives us an FGB, I can flash up the bear pooping.
That's it.
The FGB bear pooping on Lambeau. We get enough, I'll flash it up there. Let us know. What do you guys think? Ready to get out of here?
Yeah, I guess that's it.
All right, we will give Aldo's Bears thank you, Bears, for this wonderful season video on the way out.
And before you play it real quick, just a shout out, not only Aldo, his family, his wife.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's a trying time sometimes when people 100%. Go through any type of health issue. So shout out to them, because they support him in everything that he does at Barroom Network and things like that. So we appreciate that, and our thoughts are with you all as well. And Aldo, man, get better, man. Stop. I'm sure he'll hit us in the DM though, for sure.
Yep. All they'll get well. We love you. Any other final words, fellas?
I think so.
Fuck the Packers. Fuck Green Bay. Go Bears.
Oh, that's the perfect ending. That's perfect.
FGB.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Great job tonight.
Good job, Tooch.
Don't look at his like he's a gentleman.
Yeah. Thank you, Chicago Bears. You are the heartbeat of this town. Every time you play, it's electric. We're with you on every down. Ben Johnson with the vision, yeah, he's leading from the start. Strong and steady, always ready with a playbook full of art. One more, we go. Hell yeah! We're calling Caleb the Iceman, 'cause the man stares pressure down. He leads, he escapes, he sometimes makes mistakes. He is me, but a super kind of me, and a big man on the O-line, right? And the new guys ain't nothing wrong. Protecting a QB, creating lanes for the RBs, turning effort into songs. And we rise up every time you take the field. This team feels like promise, and that promise feels so real. Thank you, Chicago Bears, for the moments we'll remember, for the hope that fills this city, even deep into December. For the cheers, for the cheers, for the magic in the air, for the heart of all our game days, yeah. Thank you, Chicago Bears. What about the skill players? They about to add some crazy layers to how we play, how we win, how we celebrate. On the defense, it's a story of takeaways. When the other team feels sick, we got monsters making big sick. Up front, sweat brings the thunder. Quarterbacks don't stand a chance. Watch for Booker, he's got a hunger. Grady and the young bloods ready for some rants. And those LBs, them LBs, they got a certain expertise. The LB is sacred to our cause. That's the way it always was. This midway halfback, it's monsters. They got touch of monsters. And we rise up, yeah, the whole town for the spark. There's a pride inside the city. We're finally coming out of the dark. And we rise up, yeah, the whole town feels the spark. There's a pride inside this city. We're finally coming out of the dark. Thank you, Chicago Bears, for the moments we'll remember, for the hope that fills this city, even deep into December. For the cheers, for the tears, for the magic in the air, for the heart of all our Sundays, yeah. Thank you, Chicago Bears. This is more than just football. It's a force that binds us all. A tonic, a treating, whatever you wanna call it. You Chicago Bears are back and we can't ignore it. Thank you, Chicago Bears, for the way you make us feel, for reminding us that loyalty is something true and real. For the run, for the score, for the love we always share, from our city to our heroes, yeah. Thank you, Chicago Bears.
Thank you, Chicago Bears.
Gracias, Chicago Bears.
Thank you, Chicago Bears.
Thank you, Chicago Bears.
And dare I say, please win the Super Bowl.
Good, better, best, never let it rest, till your good gets better, yeah, and your better gets best.
Good, better, better.